things that impressed us so much about Vito's nomination was the fact that he was such an innovator at the schools he was at, and in working and creating programs for BOCES and working in the field of I-tech, computers in the classroom, writing programs, writing grants so that classrooms would have computers, and then working to make sure that they were efficiently used by the teachers in the classroom and the students are taking advantage of it. And besides being in the classroom, Vito's also taken a role in the union for educators and stuff like that. And when we read through it all, we again felt, geez, we should have been talking to Vito earlier. But we're here tonight to honor him, and because of his work as an educator and as an innovator in the field, we're honoring Vito with induction into the Hall of Fame this evening.
First, I want to thank Al for ceding his extra minutes to me. I promise it won't be too long, but I had to take some notes because I'm a little bit overwhelmed emotionally because so many of my friends are here tonight. Many people who did not even go to Fallon. So all my frat brothers are here tonight. So all my siders are here. So thanks for being here. I want to start by thanking my good friend Tim Montgomery for nominating me, and to the Alumni Association for selecting me for this honor. I don't take this induction lightly. I'm in really good company. Some of my best friends and people who I admire are already members of this Hall of Fame. And I'm humbled to be inducted at the same ceremony as my classmate, Paul Kramer. Paul was a true hero. And like the greatest of heroes, his deeds were kept very quiet and personal. And most of us only discovered the things that he had done after he passed. If he were here tonight, I would thank him for his service. I wish he could be with us tonight to feel the love and respect that we all have for him. So last time I was at one of these ceremonies was in 2004 for the induction of Tom Hobart, who I had nominated. And if you're not familiar with Tom, he was an industrial arts teacher from Buffalo, and was not only a graduate of Fallon, but also a graduate of Buffalo State, which is my alma mater. So Tom's crowning achievement was that he was one of the founders of the New York State United Teachers Union, NYSUT. And in 1973, he became the first president of NYSUT. And he was reelected 16 consecutive times. Served 34 years until he retired in 2005. Now, I met Tom in Albany when I became involved with my local union. And I was an officer at the time, and then I started to get involved in both state and national organizations that were advocates for career and technical education, occupational education, vocational education. By the time I left teaching, it was career and technical education. And Tom appointed me to various committees, so I got to work with a lot of amazing people and to move forward the interests of students and of teaching as a profession. I work with a lot of talented people, and Tom and I used to, once we realized we both were Fallon graduates, we used to share stories about all the things that we all talk about. Father Olette, and all the things that we all remember, both the good and the horrific stuff that happened to us there. But I went on and I taught for 37 years in the same department in my BOCES. And I could not imagine a more rewarding career. And I know that I had a positive impact on thousands of children. And I still keep in touch with many of them. And when I began teaching the children of the children that I had taught, that's when I knew I had been a teacher for a long time. I've lived in the lower Hudson Valley for close to 50 years, but a huge piece of my heart never left the city of Buffalo. Growing up on the west side was special to me. My parents remained here until just a few years ago. I have one brother who lives in Rochester, another who lives in Kenmore. I've been a Bills season ticket holder for over 25 years. I'm here a lot. I love Buffalo. And I have a lot of memories here. Summers at Crystal Beach, the Fallon hops, the dances at Mount Major, hanging out at the Char Pit, and countless hours spent in your host restaurants. I have lifelong friendships and continue to this day from Bishop Fallon and my years in Phi Beta fraternity. And many of those folks are here tonight who did not go to Fallon, and I'm so thrilled that you came tonight. Thank you. I have a lot of memories of singing in a band called the Crewmen, who performed at the Fallon Hops. Those were some of our greatest achievements. And I actually have 3 of my bandmates are here tonight. Joe Granada, Jack Barrett, and Joe Ruffino. And if you stick around after the dinner, we might get up enough liquid courage to sing a tune or two. Yes. Maybe. But as Joe said, we haven't rehearsed, so please, don't hold us to too high of a standard. But those were the days, and the memories stick with me. I'm really happy to have my family here with me. My wife Diane and I met while attending Buff State. We moved down to the Lower Hudson Valley a few years after that. We've lived there ever since. We have 2 beautiful children we're very proud of. They're both here tonight. My brothers are both here. My parents are the only ones who aren't here. They're 95. They're both alive. They live in Florida. We're blessed to still have them both with us. So why am I being inducted tonight? I think I know the main reason why, but when I first heard, I thought it might be for my stellar career in varsity football. And if you don't think I'm telling the truth, go to the yearbook out there, look at page 34 of the 1965 yearbook. You will see my picture. But then I realized that I only played in my senior year. I think I only played a handful of downs the whole year. And I think Al protected me a lot. I was so little, and those guys were so big. But it was fun, and I got a letter. I don't have a sweater, though. So I guess the real reason is this. A few years back, there was an effort to start planning for our 50th reunion. And myself and a few other classmates started to work at the chore of trying to track down our classmates, which we had really not kept in touch. And Tony Dino had started the ball rolling. And he kind of handed it off to myself and Laszlo Veras and Paul Beauregard. And shortly after that, Tim Montgomery joined us. And we used many methods, some legal, others maybe not so much, to track down a huge number of our classmates. And our 50th reunion, we had a record-breaking attendance. And then we came up with the idea that, hey, we're all turning 70 in 2017. So let's do it again 2 years later. So we had a 70 and 17 reunion, and we had even more people come to that. And it was probably one of those heartwarming things that I've experienced in my life. We've created a mailing list, we have a Facebook page. People stay in touch now. Everybody knows where everybody is. They get together in all parts of the country, little mini reunions. And it really was a labor of love, and it was worth every ounce of effort, that we put into it, and we continue to. Sadly, though, we also discovered that many of our classmates had passed away, including a few that no one even knew about. People were saying, we don't know where he is, and we found out, well, he died like 8 years ago, and no one knew. We think of them when we have our gatherings. We raise a glass in their memory, and we are filled with joy and laughter when we get together. And I think that's kind of why I'm here, to say that these are the efforts that are really worthwhile in your life. Getting together with old friends, sharing a laugh, memories, and we gather as often as we can, and every time we do, we have fun. So, with that being said, I'd say that without the foundation that I got at Bishop Fallon, and the friendships that I made all through high school, at the school, in my neighborhood, and all the other schools that my friends went to, I wouldn't be who I am today. So tomorrow I'm going to go back to Holy Angels, where I attended kindergarten through 2nd grade, until they threw me out. No, until we moved. And I met many of my future Fallon classmates at Holy Angels. Didn't see them for years.
Which one?
Next thing I know, they went to Cathedral and wherever else they went. We go to Fallon, and there we all are, back together again.
Here we are.
I'll pay my respects to the church tomorrow and hope that, it will continue to exist, but I'll remember it in its glory days. It's the first church I ever attended as a child. And on Monday, after the Bills beat the Eagles, I'm gonna go back home to where I live, and I'm gonna continue to be the biggest cheerleader for this city that ever walked this planet. So, my thanks to my family, to my classmates, and all my friends who are here tonight to help me celebrate. My words cannot adequately express how much it means to have you all here. So in closing, just as the Hawaiians use the phrase aloha to mean many different things, I'll close by using the favorite greeting that we Buffalonians use. Wherever we are, whenever we see each other, what we say is, "Go Bills."